Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Coach Craig's Sports. Today is Friday, August 19th, and this is the MLB DFS video for today. So in today's video, we'll be taking a quick look back at yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out. Talking about my core picks for today, it is the 14-game main slate overall, so about as big of a main slate as you can get on the FanDuel side. And then going over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talking about my top GPP stacks for today. But without further ado, we get started with the recap of yesterday's picks. At the pitcher position, we had Yu Darvish at $10,600. Got to 38 points yesterday. Was not a bad play by any means. I did give him a push yesterday just because he finished as the 5th overall pitcher on yesterday's slate, and I think he was the 3rd overall pitcher in terms of pricing. Then we moved down to first base with Anthony Rizzo, $3,700, got to 12 points. I did give him a hit yesterday. He was the 4th overall first baseman on yesterday's slate, so a pretty solid play all around. Then at third base, we had Manny Machado at $4,500, got to 18.7 points, so he was a hit in the top overall third baseman on yesterday's slate. Then we moved down to our outfielders. We had David Peralta at $2,500. Got to 0 points yesterday. He was a miss. Unfortunately, went 0 for 4. And then last but not least, we had Mark Canha at $2,600. Got to 28.2 points. So he was a hit in the 2nd overall outfielder on yesterday's slate. So a pretty decent core yesterday. Obviously, Yu Darvish and David Peralta could have been a little bit better, but altogether, a pretty solid day. If he had some other decent picks to go along with this, he cashed pretty easily on yesterday's slate. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to the core picks for today. So we're going to start off at the pitcher position. I'm going with Brady Singer today. He's $8,600, averaging about 31 fantasy points per game on the season. Obviously looking for a little bit of an uptick there from those fantasy points, but pitching pretty well. It's hard to find good cheap pitching nowadays, especially the way FanDuel's pricing everything up. Brady Singer has a very, very good start for Tampa Bay already this year. I believe it was 55 points in that game. So definitely offers a ton of upside at the pitcher position at a discount today. Then at second base, we have Marcus Semien at $2,400 once again. So 2 days ago, I talked about this being a misprice. Unfortunately, it did not work out that day, but this is still a misprice, averaging about 10.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Minnesota Twins. Dylan Bundy's pitching today. He's 7 for 24 versus Dylan Bundy in his career. So pretty good chance that he's going to at least get a hit today. Definitely offers some pretty good upside as well at a very, very cheap price tag. Then at third base, we have Jose Ramirez at $4,300, averaging almost 13 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the Chicago White Sox and Lance Lynn. He is 8 for 23 with 3 home runs versus Lance Lynn in his career. So he has one of the best hitter versus pitcher matchups on the entire slate. So definitely love the upside that he does offer today. Then we move down to our outfielders with Tommy Pham at $3,200. He's going against the Baltimore Orioles and Jordan Lyles. He is 4 for 9 with 1 home run versus him in his career, averaging about 10 fantasy points per game on the season so far. Hitting leadoff most likely once again for this Boston Red Sox team. And since he's been in that role, he's performed rather well. Then last but not least, we have Nick Castellanos, a guy that's kind of been up and down throughout the season, starting to hit the ball a little bit better once again. $2,800, averaging over 8.5 fantasy points per game on the season. Goes against the New York Mets and Chris Bassett. He is 8 for 22 with 1 home run versus him in his career. So some pretty decent upside at a reasonable price tag there today. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players that I do have listed, you have $13,700 remaining, just over $3,400 per player. So definitely some opportunities to pay up. If you want to pay up for like a Paul Goldschmidt or an Aaron Judge, you can definitely do that on today's slate. The pay down option of Marcus Semien, the cheaper option at pitcher, and Brady Singer definitely allows you to do that. Probably can't pay up for both. Just gets a little too messy if you do that because you're going to probably have to pay down at other positions. But definitely one of those 2 I would consider once again today. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to my article over at WeBetATS.com and talk about my top GPP stacks for today. So I'm going to say, since it is a 14-game slate, there is a lot of different teams that you can stack. These are the 4 that I kind of like the best. You can also look at probably about 4 or 5 other teams that were also in my notes. So if you want to go to them, if you have any questions about stacks, just feel free to message me down in the comments below. But in terms of the stacks that I do have for today, I have the St. Louis Cardinals going against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tommy Henry's pitching for them today. You know, it's like his 3rd or 4th career start. He has no history versus this Cardinals team. Cardinals have a pretty good lineup. They have hit lefties pretty well throughout this season. So definitely like the upside of this Cardinals team overall today. Then we have the Toronto Blue Jays going against Jameson Taillon of the New York Yankees. They've hit them pretty well in the past. Some of the Toronto hitters still reasonably priced, so definitely have some interest in them once again. Then we have the Boston Red Sox going against Jordan Lyles. You know, Jordan Lyles, said it a million times, he's liable to blow up on any given start, and Red Sox hitters have pretty decent history versus him overall. Then last but not least, we have the Seattle Mariners going against Cole Irvin of the Oakland A's, left-handed pitcher. Some of these guys in their lineup do hit lefties pretty well, Ty France being the main one, and then obviously there's like Mitch Haniger if he ends up playing as well. Carlos Santana does also have some decent history versus Cole Irvin as well. But with that being said, these are my core 5 picks as well as top GPP stacks for today, August 19th. As always, if you have any questions related to MLB DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's someone from my core 5 picks, whether it's someone from my top GPP stacks, or whether it's a completely different player you guys think I missed. Definitely interested in hearing what you have to say. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. Helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS. Mainly MLB DFS at this point in time, but NFL season's right around the corner, so I'm going to have some DFS for NFL regular season as well as the NBA regular season once those two sports come around. And then with that being said, if you are new or current subscribers yet to do so, also be sure to hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily MLB DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.